Hi guys, it's Simon again from SA Tuning. We haven't come to you live for a couple of weeks. So over the last couple of weeks we've been fitting some hybrid turbos to some cars. So I thought what we'd do is we'd actually explain the fundamentals of how a turbo works. Now it hasn't really changed much in the last 40-50 years of the principle behind what a turbocharger does. But we've got a couple here and I thought we'd just go through the process. So basically this turbo here is off of a BMW 118D. What happens essentially is that this here is bolted to the exhaust manifold, like this is the exhaust manifold here. So this is bolted to the exhaust manifold. What happens is all that hot exhaust gases go piling through here in this chamber, which then links to this turbine, okay? So what happens is, as all these come through, this turbine spins round. As you can see, it moves. So this is spinning round, okay? Now that turbine is linked via a shaft through here to a compressor wheel. So as you can see, if I turn that one in there, you can see the compressor wheel turning, okay? So what happens is, this is linked to the intake side. So there'll be an air filter, a pipe, this is really rough, air filter pipe bolted onto there. And so what happens is this pulls in all of the air from outside. This spins, and what it effectively does is compresses that air down to a certain pressure. That pressure is then fed out of this pipe, which then goes through to the intercooler, along and back into the intake system. Okay, so the quicker this turbine spins here, the quicker the compressor wheel turbine spins, the more air is compressed and a greater pressure is produced. So fundamentally what you're doing is you're just using the exhaust gases to compress down the intake air. So more denser air inside the cylinder creates a bigger explosion and more horsepower. And that's effectively how a turbo works. So this one's exactly the same, but we've actually got the manifold still on this one because it's part of the turbo system. So here as well, you see all the exhaust gases going in. They then turn this turbine here. They turn this turbine, which is then linked again to this turbine here, which then compresses things down, throws it out of here at a certain pressure. So if we kept this going with no control, this turbine could spin up to 20, 30, 40, 50,000 RPM, which is a hell of a lick. And that will constantly compress in air, and we'll get to a certain boost pressure, okay? So let's say, for example, a car stock, absolutely stock, runs 1.5 bar of boost from factory. So what that basically means is that this turbine will spin and compress down the air until we hit 1.5 bar of boost. Now that's got to be controlled somewhere because we don't want to compress too much air, otherwise we'll have what's called overboost. And that's fundamentally controlled by what's called an actuator arm, okay? Some are manual, some are electric, like this one. This one's electronic. So basically what happens is all the exhaust gases go through there, spin this turbine round, and then when we hit 1.5 bar of boost this side, the ECU controls this actuator, which opens and closes. Now inside here, there's what's called a wastegate. And as this arm opens and closes, it allows the wastegate inside to open and close. Or you have variable vane ones which do that. But for the simplicity of here, it's a wastegate that opens. Now when that's open, it directs all of the exhaust gases away from this turbine in here and allows it to pass freely past the turbine, remaining it spinning at a certain RPM, which creates 1.5 bar of boost this end. Now, when we're tuning a car, let's say for example, we want to achieve 1.7 bar of boost, okay? So an extra 200, 300 millibar, we can gain some horsepower because we can throw some more fuel in. Again, a lot more air, a lot denser, a bigger explosion, more brake horsepower. Now, how we control this turbo electronically from the ECU is that there'll be a mass air pressure sensor on the intake system, okay, that's going into the intake manifold. And that will measure the boost pressure. So for example, we set in the ECU, we want to achieve 1.7 bar. So the turbine, the wastegate closes, the exhaust gases go through, it spools the turbine, it compresses the air, we come out of here and we achieve 1.7 bar. Then the ECU controls this actuator arm to slowly open the wastegate to maintain the speed to achieve 1.7 bar. So when we're tuning something, we don't actually touch the physical turbo itself. What we're touching is the software, and we're asking the car to achieve more boost. And that is fundamentally how a turbo works. Exhaust gases go in here, come out here, it compresses air this side and blows it out that side. So if you've ever wondered how a turbo works, what we do when we ask to tune a car, that's fundamentally it. If you've got any more questions, or you're having problems with the turbo, or you've had a car tuned and you're not quite sure if it's been done properly, please feel free to give us a call, 0333 444 0136. You can contact us at info@satuning.co.uk, or alternatively you can message us on Facebook. We'd be more than happy to help. All right guys, take care, see you later.